Album and Beer Club.
Hello, welcome to the first episode of Album and Beer Club.
Today we're going to be focused on the seventh album by the Kinks called Arthur, or the Rise and Fall of the British Empire, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the full title, which I can never remember, so I think Arthur's alright for most people.
Yeah, Arthur. Yeah, 1969. Like
Yeah.
I said, the Kinks' seventh album.
Yeah, October 69.
October, yes.
Yeah.
And it was their follow-up to Village Green Preservation Society.
It
wasn't
was, yeah. And then the one after this, which I think fared a little bit better, was Lola. What's the full title, Dan?
Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Around Part 1. I think.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, that is it.
Which is a great album as well, yeah. But today focusing on Arthur. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a strange album. We've looked into it a bit and obviously listened to it lots. And it seems to focus a lot on sort of family, the Kinks family, with their step-brother moving to Australia as a £10 pom in the 60s.
Yeah, it's the brother-in-law Arthur Anning. I think that's... so that would be Rose's husband.
Yeah, who's the older sister of the Davies brothers.
So it's the character's name is Arthur Morgan. He's a carpet layer, and it's a loose concept album based around that.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be for Granada TV. They were going to have. Was it just going to be a one-off film, or was it a drama series?
I think they were going to take it to the stage as well. But I mean, they've done the script, and
he wrote the songs for it. So if people don't know that, to listen to the album, it seems a bit of an odd album. Because you haven't got the visuals, you ain't got the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good album, all in all. Complete different change from, if you know the Kinks' early stuff. It's very different, isn't it? The production's bigger, lots more instruments, brass.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's one of my favourite Kinks albums because one of the first bands I got into was Blur. Obviously, their most commercial album, which we're going to be talking about over the next couple of weeks, is Great Escape.
Yeah, because they were influenced a little bit, weren't they, by the Kinks?
Yeah, who would have thought it?
Just a touch.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dan, who's obviously a massive Kinks fan, he said to me about the song Country House, and then we...
because the Kinks had a house in the country, and it's pretty much the same concept as to Country House by Blur, but obviously a modern spin on Blur's part.
Yeah, and they like to write about the UK,
modern life,
really.
You know, contemporary life, modern life, like the Kinks did. They wrote about everyday life, and Blur does a lot as well.
Yeah, so...
we'll be talking about Blur as well later on in the series.
Yeah, and with Arthur having a lot of brass, obviously that ties in quite well with Britpop and that definitely. Kind of commercial side of it.
So, Rich, what are your standout songs on the album?
My standout songs, first off, would be... I mean, I think it kicks off brilliantly with Victoria.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, it's pretty much a staple of any Kinks greatest hits, sort of.
I only got to number 33 though. In the UK
but it's on all the compilations as one of the Kinks, most memorable songs, even though it didn't do well at the time of its release.
Yeah, it was the only charting single off the album. But for me, that starts off brilliantly. I do love Driving, which is another single, but I mean, I'm not.
It's an odd one. It's a song about going on a picnic. Pretty much, whilst there's a war going on in Europe. Yeah. So it's a sweet song based with a horrible backdrop to it. Second World War.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the albums about the Second World War, actually. You got Mr. Churchill Says, Some Mother's Son, and Yes Sir, No Sir. They're all sort of about being at war and being ordered about by, people in charge.
But that's, thinking about it, I mean, so... I'm guessing, I don't know this, but obviously Victoria's about Queen Victoria, isn't it? So how do you know how it fits in with? Because there's a jump there.
There is a bit of a jump in time frame, but a lot of it is all about a relative moving away to Australia, the other side of the world, and Arthur looking back on British history through the wars, the Second World War, the Great War, Queen Victoria, Churchill, as Prime Minister. So yeah, it's a lot of, it's just about his memories and what his relative will miss moving to the other side of the planet. I think that's what the album's pretty much about. It's not all completely about the Second World War, but there are quite a few songs that do mention it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think Shangri-La is, I think that's a strong song. I think
Criminally underrated.
Yeah, I think that's suited more than Driving as a single. I mean,
yeah, but I think it's because of the length of it and the different parts of it. Like we were saying, it's kind of like a Bohemian Rhapsody in the sense where there's lots of different parts to it.
Yeah, less
It's
teeth.
not a straightforward less teeth. It's not a straightforward pop song like You Really Got Me, is it? Or Victoria, which is it's got a slow beginning with just piano and stuff, and then it builds up. Then there's a rocky bit, then it goes back down again, and so I think it might have been a bit confusing for people.
Yeah, I think a single version would have suited it. I think that they could have maybe done an edit. I
don't know, because that takes away half the song, because none of it's the same. It just completely changes on what bit are you going to take out.
Release 2 singles.
Well, you could have done, because it is about 3 songs in one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so
one of my highlights on it is one at the end, second to last, Nothing to Say.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it's kind of a bit of a country song, isn't it? A country western kind of song, but
yeah.
I don't know, it's just got a really nice hook, and it does remind me of earlier Kinks stuff. It could have been on an earlier album.
Maybe later on as well, where it was Hillbillies.
Yeah, possibly, when they got a bit more...
a few albums down the line, wasn't it?
Yeah, they simplified things a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though they still had lots of brass on that album as well.
Yeah. My favourite one's Brainwashed. I think that's brilliant.
Yes. I don't know what to make of it, but it reminds me of like a 70s sort of glam rocky song a little bit.
I think I love the breakdown bit where Dave is just playing his distorted guitar.
Oh yeah, the riff. The riff in it's good.
Yeah.
Well, he's always been good for riffs, hasn't he? Oh, Dave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he's been a reliable riff maker.
Yeah.
But
Riffmonger.
Riffmonger.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, Riffmonger. I think the whole feeling of this album is the songs are so diverse in with each other.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different parts to a song. It's not straightforward songs on the whole album, really.
No.
Except maybe Victoria. That's really just straightforward. But yeah, the rest have got so many different changes to them. Tempos.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I think that's possibly its downfall.
I think it probably was.
Like commercially, I mean, it doesn't really matter about singles nowadays, but I mean, back then it was important.
Oh, it was the biggest thing when it singles back then. But
Yeah.
us playing the bands and that, we appreciate the album because of all of the parts in it.
Yeah.
You can hear all these little bits, all the different breakdowns, tempos and stuff like this. We really enjoy it. But a lot of people who just want another pop song probably would have found it a bit hard to get into, really, because there's not... Well, there is loads of hooks in all the songs, but it's a little bit jumbled, isn't it? A little bit.
Yeah.
The album doesn't consistently stay... it's hard to say, because some songs are pretty poor. Yes or No Says a bit poor, isn't it?
I'd say that's probably the
It's alright, but...
weakest one. It ain't too bad.
No, She's Got a Hat Like Princess Marina's a bit of a joke song, isn't it?
That's probably one that I'd listen to the least, to be honest.
Yeah, Mr. Churchill Says I'm not that keen on. So there's a few on there that really, it's just odd.
Yeah, they're just building. I mean, they're building up to. It's almost they're building up to Lola versus Power Man.
And the Money Go Round.
And the Money Go Round.
Whatever you call
Part
it.
one.
Yeah.
Which I think is all round stronger.
It's really good because I think they changed the sound a lot for the Kinks as the Village Green Preservation Society.
Yeah.
That was a massive change for them, which alienated a lot of fans. That's why that didn't do too well. And this one, is still trying to find their sound, I think, new sound. And with Power Man and Lola, I think the album nails it.
Mm.
Right, as you know, this is called Album and Beer Club, so we've got to talk about the beer we're drinking.
Yeah.
And what are we drinking today, Rich?
Oh, surprise! It's quite it's quite different. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I know it's a bit of a obscure beer, but we're going to be drinking Foster's.
Yeah.
Because of this album's got lots of ties to Australia, with a song called Australia as well. Mm. But apparently nobody drinks it in Australia, which is
apparently not. But I I don't know.
To be fair, I've been to Australia and I didn't see it anywhere.
No, because it's all over here.
That is true. We're the idiots that buy it.
Yeah.
Right, so the song Australia, do you like it?
I don't mind it. It obviously ties in with the album.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I think the lyrics are witty, it's funny, it's not a too serious song. And it's got, again, lots of tempo changes and breakdowns in it, and then it has a psychedelic freak out at the end.
Yeah.
Which I can't think of another song by the Kinks that goes too psychedelic. I mean, they probably touched on it on Village Green in a few places, but
And then
not a big outro solo.
no, I mean they might have had a couple in like what was it, Sleepwalker or things like that, but that it starts getting a little bit
Yeah, well,
cheesy.
yeah.
I don't know.
Not, yeah, if they're 70s, late 70s albums. I can't, they, honestly, you know, they're probably quite good if you give them a listen, but when I was younger into the Kinks, I just didn't find them
You're not
good,
gonna,
you know.
Yeah, you're not going to.
There's no standout good, great songs like in their heyday. But yeah, so I think Australia's good. It's got nice little funny lyrics on there about beating around the bush, I like, which is quite funny.
That is good.
Yeah, and it's got a Beach Boys sort of theme to
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, it's the one about surfing, like they do in the USA, and it breaks down. It's got all the high backing.
It's got a couple of breakdowns in it, in that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you were saying it's like the saying £10 poms.
Yeah, and that's exactly what. Well, the Davies brothers, their sister and Arthur, their brother-in-law, were £10 poms. They went over there in the early 60s to
And
Australia.
I started watching that series. I think it's ITV. I started watching it, and it's all right. Reminded me a bit like of an Australian version of Heartbeat, just with the acting and stuff. But if nothing else, it was a good insight. I mean, we were
Nick Berry in it.
Nick Berry's in it. Yeah, He's 85.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite interesting because we weren't treated very well at all going over there. I mean, it's fair enough. You can't expect to be. But, I mean, one of the characters there was put to work and he was treated as well as the Aborigines. And it's...
They're not treated well there at all.
No, exactly. And that's what it was... so, I mean, I don't know if they obviously went over there, if they had the same problems, Rose and Arthur. They probably did.
Yeah, they'd probably come back a few years later.
Did they?
I don't know.
Let's say they did.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I didn't realise that. I didn't think, because I thought they were pretty much British over there anyway.
No, they well,
Well, I guess it was a long time ago.
they
when
go
we,
to a camp and then they'd be put to work and that. But I think there was a lot of people that didn't want them.
they'd established themselves as their own country, obviously by then. You know, centuries later, like America did. They didn't like us going over there anymore, did they?
It's just people being
Civil wars and all that.
xenophobic, really, isn't it? Is that the right? Xenophobic?
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, well, let's just go with that then. Oh, let's hope I've got that right.
Oh yeah,
Makes me sound
I don't know,
vaguely.
xenophobic.
Oh, it's just...
Don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah. So the beer. What was your take on this beer? Because it's from what I can see, it's quite a
3.7. I thought it was stronger than that, you know.
Oh, all of them used to be.
Been drinking it for years, and you think, oh,
Apparently, they've all had to put down the
you get
percentage because of the tax.
Yeah,
apparently.
you do get
you
taxed.
get taxed on the higher beer.
But I mean, throughout the episodes, we are going to be we're going to try and link the drinks with the album, or occasionally we won't do an album. We'll do another kind of musical thing, but we're going to try and link it.
Yeah, that's why we're having a Foster's this time.
Yeah, not because we ever have it normally.
No, I've never heard of it. Never tasted it before. Never heard of it.
Yeah,
They should try and get it in a pubs around here.
They should.
They should.
I think it's probably brewed in
Here we go. Let me read this to you.
Milton Keynes.
We've crafted this beer to first quench in perfection. Enjoy ice cold, just as William and Ralph Foster would have wanted, whoever they are. Brewed in Europe by Heineken UK Limited, Broadway
Right.
Park, Edinburgh. So there you go. That's how Australian.
I mean, Heineken have bought out so. I mean, any company they've just bought it now.
Yeah, I wonder if William and Ralph would
Probably
enjoy
not. I mean,
knowing that
John
their
Smith's-
beer was not getting made
John
in
Smith's
Australia.
Heineken.
Yeah, but that's blatantly English. John
Oh,
Smith.
no, I'm just on about Heineken. The fact that they own. I mean, they,
Right. Sorry, I thought you meant John Smith was English. Yes, of course it is.
It's like neck oil as well, like Beavertown.
I don't drink those sort of ones.
Well, you're going to have to. No?
Yeah, if we review an album by Midnight Oil, I might have to drink neck oil.
Yeah.
Although they're Australian as well, funnily enough. So I could be drinking Foster's again.
Are they?
Yeah, Midnight Oil. Beds Are Burning.
Burning.
Yeah, they're Australian. Pretty sure they
Well,
are.
we won't go into naming Australian bands.
No, we won't. Crowded House.
No.
No.
No, New Zealand.
Oh, that's close enough. Pretty much
Don't
Australia.
say that.
Oh,
no.
You sure they're New Zealand? Oh, anyway.
Yeah, because Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, right, yes, well.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we made a
There's a
mistake
link.
with that one and Xenophobe as well. I think they're two mistakes we made today. Hopefully not many more. Xenophobia?
Xenophobic.
I don't know what that means.
Means you're not welcome into other countries and stuff.
Well, racist. Anyway, we get a little bit
that's
off. We get a little bit off topic here.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were the singles off of this? We had Victoria was. I thought that was their first single.
Driving was the first one.
Which is random because that's a bizarre song, like having a picnic.
That
which
didn't.
is a bit weird.
Yeah, that didn't chart. Then, from what I can remember, what I've read, it after that was Shangri-La.
Which I think is
No. Sorry, it would have been Victoria.
That's what I said first.
No, Driving. Driving, Victoria, then
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
Right, and Shangri-La only charted in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Which
Netherlands.
is nuts because it is criminally
I think it
overlooked
was
song.
number
It's a brilliant
24
song.
or something like that. It charted in one country.
How can you get number 24 Netherlands? They've only got about 4 pop bands in the whole country, haven't they?
Are we going to go
no.
on to name?
No, we're not going to name any
But
Netherlands bands.
yeah, basically what we're trying to say is none of the singles, or the album in particular, done that well. It was well received in America, got really good reviews and sold pretty well.
And I'll tell you why. Because Village Green became a massive album out there, which is the one just previous to this one. And a lot of the anti-Vietnam War protesters used to play it at the protests. For some reason, they linked it to anti-war. But so they got a big following in America through the back of that. And then this was the next album, so that's probably why it sold quite well out there.
That makes sense why the Kinks focused on America
After
more
that.
and more after this.
And their band was up by then.
Yeah.
They were banned, if you didn't know, for 3 or 4 years during the mid to late 60s through some kind of dispute. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Yeah.
And all the other bands like The Who and Led Zeppelin, they were taken off over in America and the Kinks were left behind a little bit. Which, if they weren't stuck here, we might not have had all those string of really English brilliant songs they wrote, Waterloo Sunset and all those ones.
Yeah, because then they went off and done their stadium rock version.
Yeah, once they
of the
allowed
Kinks.
back, they went and
they're
cracked
welcome
America.
to it because
Yeah,
it's
they were a
all right,
massive
but
stadium band by then, arena sort of band, wasn't
it's
it?
more suited to the American market. I think. I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
it's not for me. But I think that's obviously you could go on forever with this album. You could, but I can't.
Well, yeah, I think we've covered most things on this album. If you do get a chance to listen to it, dig it out. You can find it on pretty much on everything you listen to. Spotify. I'm not going to name them all. iTunes, everyone knows them, don't we?
Yeah,
But yeah, you can find it anywhere. And I'd really recommend listening to it if you're a fan of music, and because it is a great album.
I have to say as well, the artwork's pretty good.
The artwork's brilliant. Yeah, so that's Arthur covered.
Yeah. And I think probably next time, as we've already said, we might push on to.
That's Rich tapping a pencil on the microphone.
Yeah,
so there you go.
nice.
Don't worry about that. That's really helpful. Anyway, what are you going to say?
So next week we might move on to something by Blur, probably Great Escape. But yeah, today was all about the Kinks and Arthur. What's the full title?
Arthur, or the Rise and Fall of the British Empire. I think it's unhelpfully not on the front of the album, so I think it's called that. But anyway, everyone just refers to it as Arthur anyway. So yeah, give it a go.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Album and Beer Club.